Hi, this is Kevin with Northwest Anxiety Institute, Fighting Fear with Kevin Ashworth. I wanted to bring you a video today about cognitive behavioral therapy. It's going to be a very quick video to give you the basic tenets of what CBT is. CBT is talked about every single day by lots of people. There's a lot of recommendations made for CBT, whether you're seeing your physician, another type of therapist maybe. But we know that cognitive behavioral therapy is the most effective treatment for anxiety disorders. We also know it's the most effective treatment for insomnia and a whole host of other both psychological and physical conditions. And so I just wanted to actually explain what that is very quickly. So in cognitive behavioral therapy, we think of three things. Your thoughts, which are the cognitive part, your feelings, which are the emotional part, of course, and then behavior, being very, very important. Also one that gets lost very quickly. So these all have a bidirectional relationship. Feelings impact behavior, behavior impacts one's feelings, thoughts impact feelings, feelings impact one's thoughts, thoughts impact our behavior, and behavior impacts our thoughts. By the time most people come to therapy, they are hoping to change this. They want to feel better, they want to feel less depressed, they want to feel less anxious, they want to feel more confident. There's a feeling that they're waiting for. And for most of us, we usually wait for that feeling to come before we make any change. So the example I give all of my patients is that I usually wait to feel like working out, which often means I never go to the gym. So in fact, this morning was the exact same thing. I woke up, I'm laying in my bed, nothing in my body or my brain felt like going to the gym. It was a behavior I had to shift. We cannot control our feelings directly, so we have to stop trying. If we could, my profession and millions of other people that do this job, their profession wouldn't exist. We would just close our eyes and change our feelings and it would be magical and amazing. It's just not that easy. So we actually, in cognitive behavioral therapy, stop trying to change feelings directly, and we spend very little time on that at all, which is different for most people. So we're not focused on this directly. Thoughts, of course, are very powerful. We have some control over our thoughts, but we do not have 100% control over our thoughts. So of course, imagine a song that you can't get out of your head, a horrible thought that you just can't seem to push away. We don't just control these thoughts, although we have some control. So you can think of this chalkboard or even this chalk, even if you weren't thinking about that prior, and you just allocated some of your cognitive resources to think of this. Pretty cool. The problem is, of course, if I ask you not to think of the chalk, it becomes impossible. Whatever you do, don't think of the chalk. Now imagine that that thought is not about chalk, but it's a self-deprecating and intrusive thought. It's a thought about not being pretty or being overweight or not being successful. We can't outthink that. Cognitive therapy is hinged on the idea that we are helping people look at and use tools to change their cognitions. There's some success in that, but it's much easier to change your behavior first. And so although we have we have some control over our thoughts, we do not have 100%, so we're going to focus on this a little bit less. Behavior therapy is where the money's at. We can control all of our voluntary behavior. So we can sit, we can stand, we can talk, we can move. Of course, most of us don't want to change this behavior unless we feel like it. We don't want to see friends if we feel anxious. We don't want to go to the grocery store if we feel afraid. And we certainly don't want to get up and go to work if we feel very depressed. But despite not feeling like it, you can actually control those things. And because we know these are all bidirectional, if you influence and change your behavior first, these other things follow along. So the basic example is when we feel sad and depressed, one thing that we like to do, so we feel sad, we have negative thoughts about ourselves, our success, who we are as a person, hopelessness. Those thoughts lead to behaviors such as isolation, staying in bed, not getting up. When you do that all day and you're not productive, you usually feel worse about yourself and you have thoughts that you're pathetic and you don't do anything, which leads you to sleep more, stay in bed, isolate, not tidy, not do anything that would help you feel good. So if we influence just one, the thoughts and feelings catch up. It takes time, it takes serious change, and that's really difficult for most of us. It is like working out. It's usually a marathon. Most of us get excited about going to the gym, making some physical change, and when it doesn't happen within 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we don't want to do that anymore. And so if you're stuck in a rut, if you're stuck with intrusive thoughts, if you feel very sad and depressed, cognitive behavioral therapy is a way to help you do that by shifting your behavior. So I would ask you to think about what behaviors you do that likely fall into this pattern. How much time are you waiting just for this to change, and how long have you been waiting for? Anxiety doesn't care. Anxiety will get worse over time. It's unrelenting, it's very, very mean, and it's conniving. So, in fact, the more you avoid, which is a behavior, because of your anxiety, the stronger your anxiety feelings get. So, I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, this is Cognitive Behavioral Therapy 101, I guess. Thanks so much for watching. Follow my channel. Check us out on Facebook, northwestanxiety.com. Send me an email, kevin@northwestanxiety.com. Thanks so much. Take care.